Good morning, beautiful people. We're going to be concluding on the topic building board capacity today. And we're concluding with inaugurating board development committees. When we started talking on the topic building board capacity so that they can be able to support in terms of fundraising, in terms of achieving your mission, we started by talking about, running a board assessment so you can identify the gap within the board and also identify, where each of your board members are to know if you have to keep them or let them go. And then we talked about re-engaging and remotivating current board members. So you've assessed your board, you've seen the gap, and now, you've seen that some board members are still valuable, right? How to re-engage them, remotivate them so that they can be able to, support the work of the organization, right? That was the second step. And then we moved on to talk about how to bring in new board members. Say you've seen a gap within the board that, you need to bring in people to fill up. How do you go about recruiting these people? We talked about that. And then we moved on to talk about strategic planning as a way to align both old and new board members, and also as a way to have board members take complete ownership of the organization. And then after strategic planning, we talked about delegating responsibilities and inaugurating committees, right? As a means to be able to execute the strategic plan. So by delegating responsibilities and inaugurating committees, you all can execute the strategic plan. Then we moved on to talk about onboarding each of your board members with the tools that they need to be able to execute, providing them the support they need to be able to support you. We talked all about that. And then we moved on to setting expectations for your board members and, putting accountability processes in place. We covered all that. And then, of course, we talk about rewarding, recognizing, and celebrating the success of your board as a key way to, ensure you build their capacity. And then today we're going on to board development committees, right? The board development committees is like the sum of all the steps, because when you're doing this, when you're going through this process, it's very much like the CEO, the founder, the board chair who's taking the whole board through this process, who has to ensure their capacity to support, right? But if you want sustainability, if you want that capacity to support to continue, the board development committee is the key to making that happen. Why? Because the board development committee is the only committee that is specifically created to focus on the board. So it's very easy to focus on every other aspect of the organization. It's easy to want to raise money. It's easy to want to execute your programs. But what most founders really lack behind on is in ensuring the welfare of their board members, is in ensuring the follow-up of their board members. And that's where board development committee come in. When you set up a board development committee, you are making sure that each board member receives the adequate attention they need to be able to contribute to the organization. So the board development committee is a group of board members coming together to say, we want to look at the welfare of the board members. We want to be able to support them to be successful. We want to be able to, provide that board, that platform, that atmosphere that's conducive for every board member. So how does the board development committee helps build board capacity so that, the organization can achieve its vision? The very first step is the board development committee. Their job is to assess the gap within the board. So on a regular basis, the board development committee is assessing the gap within the board, is assessing the board to know the strength of the board, to know the state of the board, so that they can know how best to assist the board forward, right? So that could be by running regular evaluation and board assessments, by evaluating each individual board member so that you know where they are and how to help them move forward. That's really one of the top goals of the board development committee. Another key mandate of the board development committee is in re-engaging and remotivating current board members. So because you have a committee that's within the board that's focused on the welfare of the board, they easily see where the board is lacking behind, where each board member is lacking behind, and then they know how best to re-engage and remotivate these board members who are lacking behind. So if you're having board members who are lacking behind, and there's nothing being done, is because you don't have a board development committee that's committed to making sure that doesn't happen. So the third way they come in is by handling board recruitment. So the entire board can't be focused on, trying to bring in new board members. There are people within the board who's going to look at the board, know the gaps within the board, and then go out there to bring in these board members. Of course, the entire board can be a part of the recruitment process, but it's important you mandate a committee, which is the board development committee, to continuously look at the gap within the board and always reach out to bring in new board members who are passionate about the vision to support the organization. Another way they get to help is by setting up expectations and accountability processes, so that so as to ensure board effectiveness. So expectations and accountability processes, like I told you before, if you don't give board members expectations, if there are no accountability processes in place to hold them, to get them committed, they are most likely going to fall off in no time. So the board development committee's mandate is to ensure that expectations are set, accountability processes are set up within the board to ensure that each board member follow through on what they are supposed to do. Another key aspect the board development committee helps with is ensuring the welfare of board members. Like I said earlier, it's very funny. Sometimes you find boards that a board member may be sick and there's no follow-up, right? It's just one person calling from somewhere, and there's really no care for these board members, people who go out of their way to make sure things are okay with others, right? But if you have a board development committee, these guys can intentionally follow up on each board member, provide them the support they need, whether it's things that doesn't even have to do with the board, right? For example, when a board member is sick, a board member is experiencing some sort of challenge, the board can be there to support them through the process. It makes a lot of impact, like it makes a lot of sense, because when you support this board member, when you show them that you care, of course, they're going to show that they care to the people you serve. They're also going to show that they care to your organization. So looking for a way to ensure that their welfare is taken care of is one key way of keeping board members' capacity at the peak. And then your board development committee can help you with that. Another aspect is looking out for training and professional development for board members. So as they get to assess each board member, of course, they see the gaps of each board member, they see where each board member needs to meet up, and then of course they recommend trainings, they recommend professional development opportunities, resources to help the board member grow in the areas that they see that these board members are falling short. So that's why I said the board development committee kind of encompasses the entire steps we've been talking about, because with that committee in place, you can continuously assess your board, assess individual board members. You can continuously re-engage and re-motivate current board members. You can continuously be out there bringing in new board members. You can handle, which is handling your board recruitment, right? You can set up expectations and accountability processes. You can ensure board members' welfare are well taken care of. And of course, you can look out for training and professional development opportunities for these board members, right? Without even sweating it out or distracting the board, because a committee is in place to focus on that area, take the steps, take actions, and then report back to the board for more support moving forward. So this is how you build board capacity across your entire organization. Remember, it starts with assessing your board, assessing individual board members, re-engaging and remotivating current board members, bringing in new board members if you have to, strategically planning with them, delegating responsibilities and inaugurating committees, equipping these board members to be able to be successful, training them on the processes so that they can be successful, rewarding them when they are successful, setting expectations, recognizing board members when they win, celebrating success together, and of course, putting together a committee that can oversee all these processes so as to ensure your board is able to provide you the support you need to be able to achieve your mission, raise money, and of course, transform your entire organization. So this is going to be it for now. Of course, from tomorrow, we're going to be starting a new topic. So happy for you all that have joined to the end of this. Reach out to us if you need help as regards raising money, as regards organizing your board, bringing in new board members. We'll be happy to help you and see you successful. Until I hear from you again, bye and bye.